Ryan with an open look at a three, bang.
In a row! There is a goal!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Melrose High School here in Melrose, Mass. For tonight's WinCam 8 continuing coverage of 2003-2004 Lady Sachem basketball. Tonight, MIAA playoffs, Division II North. We're in the first round. The 2-seed Melrose and the 18-seed Winchester. You know, it's that wonderful time of year where you start talking about 7-10 and 2-15 and 8-9 games. Well, tonight we have a 2-18 game. 18 teams qualified for the Division II North playoffs this year. So we had two play-in games on Tuesday night. Winchester came in as the 18 seed, had to go down to Charlestown and take on the 15-seeded Charlestown team, took them out by a count of 53-35. So here we are in the 2-15/2-18 game. Tough task for the girls tonight. Melrose at home, 18-2 on the year. We come in at 11-10. Big task in front of the girls. If they want to advance, they're going to have to pull off the big upset. Back with the starting lineup and the tip after this.
There's a vacation village near Orlando that's unlike any other. It's called Give Kids the World. It brings a week of joy to children with life-threatening illnesses, and it's absolutely free for their families. Call Give Kids the World or log on, and please help give them a time to remember.
Welcome back to Melrose High School, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight's Middlesex League North Division II first round affair between the traveling Lady Sachems of Winchester High School at 11-10 on the campaign and the homestanding Lady Red Raiders of Melrose High School, a smooth 18-2. My name is Robert Broderick. It's my pleasure and my privilege to bring you WinCam 8 continuing coverage of Lady Sachem basketball. Tonight we're taking our show on the road here in Melrose. Tough task ahead of the ladies tonight. Melrose 18-2. They come in as the 2 seed. Let's take a look at the Division II North draw. You can see we had two play-in games. That's how Winchester got here through one of those. First, we'll look at the left half of the draw with the 1 seed Westford. They will play the winner of the 17-16 game, which was Bishop Fenwick over Latin Academy in a very mild upset. Westford and Bishop Fenwick tonight. Of course, Bishop Fenwick took us out last year. In the 8-9 game, Wakefield survived 44-38 over Gloucester. An upset in that 13-4 game, Belmont, the 13 seed, took out the 4 seed Brighton 53-38. And North Andover, the 5 seed, survived against the 12 Danvers 38-27. Top of the right half of that draw is this game right here. We got here by beating Charlestown down there on Tuesday night by 18. And the 7-10 game, LS took out Masco by the score of 49-44. So LS awaits the winner of this tilt. Bottom half of the right-hand side of the draw, Arlington Catholic, no problems with Reading, 58-38. And Tewksbury was upset by Salem, 58-51 in overtime. So the 3 is through, the 5 is through. The 4 and 6 are out, the 7 and 8 are through. So the seeds have held in 4 of these 6 contests so far. Hopefully the seeds will not hold in tonight's game as we come in a huge underdog to the Lady Red Raiders of Melrose. Chance to take a look at the starting lineups before we get underway. First for the visiting Lady Sachems. At guard, number 10, Katie Connolly, and number 13, Martha Balicki. Forwards, number 24, Anita Martinetti, number 21, Meg Foley, and in the middle, number 52, senior co-captain Amanda Dorian. And for homestanding Lady Red Raiders of Melrose High School, well, they go with 3 guards. Shalani Petty, who's at the top of the league standings all year in terms of individual scoring. Christina Scarlatos, 11, and Kara Lynch, 14. Erin Hudd, 21, is the only true forward in the starting lineup. And in the middle, Marianne Foley, number 42. When the teams go to the playoffs, they expand the rosters and bring up some players from the junior varsity squad. We are no exception. I'll give you a quick rundown of our roster expansion. We've added number 12 guard Kristen Shea, number 22 Catherine Bailey, number 25 Carolyn Turner, number 41 Jenny Bandai. Everyone else you're familiar with from the regular season, including Leanne Bertocchi, Christina Nardone, and Mary Alice Gill. So we're about to get set for the introductions and festivities here as the MIAA runs things once you get into the tournament. It's no longer the home team which runs the affair. The MIAA is in charge, and we have the PA announcement coming on. They will introduce both the starting lineups as well as the as Jeff Keedy comes into the house. I'm not sure what exactly the getup is. Maybe we can get a shot at Keedy. He's got a Burberry scarf over top of a Winchester basketball outfit, a headband, shades. The crowd is now giving Jeff a big round of applause. We have some plenty of Winchester fans, and plenty of Winchester athletes in the house, including Keedy in that getup. I'm not sure what you call that getup. But the MIAA runs the show, as I was saying, and they introduce both the starting lineups as well as the reserves for each squad. Again, we've added Jenny Bandai, Carolyn Turner, Catherine Bailey, and Kristen Shea. So expanded roster for the Lady Sachems. In the first two meetings between these teams this year, on the 19th of December, Winchester came in here and lost 49-38. So only lost by 11, second game of the year over here. In that game, Katie Connolly had 14. Anita had only 2, and Amanda had only 5. So Katie was the big gun in that game, and our other 2 traditionally big scorers were held in check. Then on the 20th of January at home, in that we got to start the game early because of midterms or whatever the reason was, 62-46, Melrose came out ahead by 16. Again, Katie had a big game. She had 13. Amanda, of course, was in the middle of the of her injury. She got a DNP in that game. Meg Foley had 8 points, and Anita had 9. So hopefully Katie Connolly, who's had 2 big games against Melrose so far, will be able to do so again tonight. And we get a big effort from Anita, we get a big effort from Amanda, and we can pull off the big upset. Of course, we will be without the services, unlike the first 2 games of the series between these 2 teams this year. We will be without the services of Chrissy Norberg once again. She's been out for probably about 3.5 weeks as the Winchester reserves are being introduced. There's Catherine Bailey, 22. 23, Eliza. Of course, she's been on the varsity all year, excuse me. There's Carolyn Turner. Your first look at a lot of these girls. MAG, of course, we've seen before. Christina Nardone had a big game, and she's being introduced right now. She had a big game at Charlestown on Tuesday night. Amanda got 2 fouls probably at the 8 or 9 minute mark of the first half. And Christina came in and had 6 big first half points and just really gave the Lady Sachems a spark off the bench, enabling Amanda to stay out of foul trouble, not pick up her 3rd. Here come the Sachem starters. Katie Connolly, now Martha Balicki, Meg Foley, starting in Chrissy's spot. Now Anita and Amanda. It enabled Nardone's minutes, enabled Dorian to avoid picking up her 3rd in the first half. And Amanda went on to have a big game with 16 points. Anita also had 15. Martha Balicki had 6, and Nardone, as we said, had 6 in the first half and 6 overall. So if the formula for success against Melrose for Winchester is Connolly having a big game and Dorian having a big game and Martinetti having a big game, well, perhaps everything is in place. Connolly's had big games against them twice so far. Anita had a big game on Tuesday. Amanda had a big game on Tuesday. So if we're going to pull the big upset here in in the gym of the Lady Raiders, then perhaps everything is in place. Again, Melrose comes in at 18-2 on the campaign. We came in at 11-10. The 1 seed Westford 18-2, 2 seed Melrose 18-2, Arlington Catholic 18-2. They're the 3. They are all still alive. The 4 seed Brighton came in at 17-2. They lost to Belmont. They lost pretty handily. They lost by 15 in the biggest upset so far in the bracket. 5 seed North Andover came in 17-3. They survived. 6 seed, as we said, Tewksbury 15-5 coming in, lost in overtime to Salem. The 7 seed Lincoln Sudbury 15-5 awaits the winner of this game because they took out the 10 Masco, who came in at 12-8. The 9 seed Gloucester 14-8 took on the 8 seed Wakefield 15-5, and Wakefield survived to go to 16-5 by a score of 44-38. 11 seed Salem was 12-8 coming in, and they pulled that upset over the 6. Danvers, the 12 seed, was 12-8. They lost, of course, to North Andover. Belmont pulled the big upset, as we said. 14 seed Reading came in at 11-9, and they got drubbed pretty good against AC. 15 seed Charlestown, of course, was taken out by us. Latin Academy, the 16, lost to the 17 Bishop Fenwick by 12. And, of course, we're the 18, but still alive. Came in at 10-10 on the campaign and now go to 11-10. So the good news is, if we pull the huge upset, of course, we go on to play the 7 seed Lincoln Sudbury. If worst comes to worst and we are unable to pull out this, what would have to be said, it is a huge upset here at Melrose. Lady Stations will finish at 11-11, 500 on the year. So we're about to go to the anthem, and we'll let you enjoy that at home. Well, a rousing rendition of the national anthem as we're about to get underway. You know, Winchester not only has to come in here and beat a very good 18-2 Melrose team that went through the conference at 17-1. You look around this place and you got to beat some ghosts. I mean, 1999-2000, they go through the league 18-0. 2000-2001, they go through the league 18-0. 2002-2003, they go through the league 18-0. They've won this league in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, Division II North finalists in 2000. I mean, you come in here, you face the ghosts, you face the banners. You don't just have to beat a talented basketball team this year. You have to beat some serious tradition, some serious recent history. So a very tough task for the girls tonight, as 42 Marianne Foley and 24 Anita Martinetti about to jump center and get this tilt finally underway. It seems like we've had an interminable pregame with the 12-minute anthem and pregame festivities. Now we're finally playing some basketball. Tip controlled by Aaron Hudd. And 3, Sheilani Petty will set things up. This way, Scarlatos. Back up top, Petty. Nice steal, almost Martha Balicki. 15:49 left, 11 seconds in, 19 on the clock. Melrose will bring the ball back in. Petty this way, Carlatos. Top, Petty. Three-pointer up, bang. Well, that is exactly the start that Melrose wished for, and here comes the pressure. Katie's going to have another big game and going to have to handle the pressure. I'll tell you what, she did that very well. She does it again here. Nice dish, Dorian, up, good. So 2 for Amanda, it's 3-2. Katie handled the pressure from Melrose the first time we came into this gym back on December 19th quite well. She had a big game against these girls again in mid-January back at home. We're going to need that from her tonight. 3-2, Melrose. Back up top, Lynch. Now down inside, tipped away, pulled out of there by Meg Foley. Now Katie Connolly set things up for the traveling Lady Sachems in the Road Blacks. That's poked out of there. Petty up with it. Carlatos wouldn't go. Petty there. Nice job, Amanda Dorian. Connolly ahead. Martinetti can't quite get by Lynch. Out of bounds to Winchester. There is going to be a substantial noise level in this gymnasium if there isn't already this evening. The place is pretty well packed, and this is an absolute bandbox. For those of you who are at this game or have been here in the past, this is one of the smallest venues in the league, if not the smallest. And, you know, the four walls, if you're claustrophobic, let's just put it this way, this is not the place to come. I mean, the four walls are probably no greater than 6 feet from the court on the 3 sides without the bleachers. The bleachers are about 3 feet from the sideline. This is a small place and can get very loud. And Melrose plays here very well. Connolly, baseline, up, blocked by Foley. Pulled out of there, Balicki jumper wouldn't go, fought for underneath, Dorian there, Martinetti there, and it's off Anita out of bounds to Melrose. Still 3-2 Melrose, 14:28 left first half. Sachems look to be playing well, playing aggressively. They look to be sharp so far this evening. Of course, we're only a minute and a half in. Trapping looked like a 1-3-1. Now they back out of it. Foley jumper wouldn't go. Petty over the back. Nice job, Meg Foley. First on Petty, team first. Excellent position, Meg Foley. Sheilani Petty could do nothing but go over the back for that rebound. Martinetti inbounds. Melrose drops out of the pressure. Martha Balicki will set things up for the Lady Sachems. Working defensively against Kara Lynch. Now Meg Foley. Looks for the skip pass, not there. Tries to hit Martinetti in the corner. Pulled out of there by Scarlatos. And we're going to have a foul in the forecourt. It's going to be Anita. That's her first, team first. 13:59 left, first half. Still 3-2, Lady Red Raiders. Petty runs the point. Has Lynch to her right. Instead, Scarlatos in the corner. Jumper for Scarlatos, up and good. So 2 for Christina Scarlatos. It's 5-2, Lady Red Raiders. Meg Foley over half court. Tries to hit Katie. Dangerous pass, connects. Katie comes out. Now she's in the corner. Tries to hit Amanda down low, does so. Amanda up, wouldn't quite go. Fights for her own rebound. Nice job, Dorian. Now Meg Foley. It's blocked and off of Marianne Foley out of bounds. Sachems are pounding the ball inside. They did that very well on Tuesday night down at Charlestown. That's going to be the recipe for success if we are going to have success, it looks like, tonight against Melrose. Melrose almost certainly quicker than we are. We're bigger than them and perhaps more talented, although Foley's a pretty good player. Walking called on Katie Connolly as she tried to beat Marianne Foley to the baseline. Turn it back over the other way. 13:15 left first half, 5-2 Melrose. Petty, Sachem's back in his zone, although they're jumping out up top. Martha gets a hand in there and off of one of our players out of bounds. Martha got a hand in. Almost came up with a steal as they thought it might have been off of 21 Hud. It was not called that way. Marianne Foley now high post. Kicks it back out now. Petty in the corner. Jumper good, and it's for three. So Petty has 2 quick threes. It's 8-2 Melrose. Connolly, Martinetti. Now back to Katie. Working against Shailani Petty. Leaves her in the dust. Tries to hit Meg on the base in the paint. Couldn't come up with it. Petty the other way. Petty is smooth. Nice bounce pass. Jumper up. Wouldn't go. Pulled out of there, Martha Balicki, and they're getting Aaron Hudd on the push. Kara Lynch there, 14 in on the play. They do get Hudd. That's her first, team second. 12:31 left, first half. Sachem's down 6. They need a bucket. Balicki runs the point now. Tries to hit Katie in the corner. Out of bounds off of Kara Lynch. Seychelles will inbound the ball. 12:23 left, game clock. 22 shot clock. Foley, Connolly, Petty there defensively. Tries to hit Meg in the low block. Out of bounds off of Winchester. Petty back the other way. Still 8-2 Melrose. 12:15 left. Hudd, high post. Foley, low post, good. First 2 for Marianne Foley. It's 10-2, timeout, Lady Sachems. Coach DeSarcina. Well, we're down 8, 12:04 left first half, and that is a very, very wise timeout. You cannot let Melrose get out to too big of a lead. Not in this gym, in front of the home crowd. They're riding, obviously, a wave of not only emotion but success coming through the year at 18-2, finishing the league campaign at 17-1. Again, Melrose, it's the old joke, they don't rebuild, they reload. 18-2, and looking to make a run in the state tournament for the umpteenth time. Yeah, you look around this gym, maybe we can get a shot of some of these banners. Undefeated 1999-2000 Middlesex League women's basketball champion, undefeated Middlesex League champion. Again. That's the league banner. That's not what we need, but they keep winning games. They keep hanging banners. They keep winning Middlesex League titles, and it is very, very difficult to come in here and beat them on any year. There was some thought that perhaps this was a bit of a down year for Melrose. Certainly, it's kind of tough to be down when you go through the league at 17-1, but perhaps not as dominant as they have been in the past couple of years, and this might be a year to jump up and get them. We're going to have to find our way back from 8 down as we're under 12 minutes right now. Connolly baseline, gets past Foley. Now Balicki. Petty got a hand in there. Lynch, Petty, good, 2. She has 8. It's 12-2. Full court pressure again, Melrose. It's man pressure. They get it to Connolly. Petty. Connolly runs off a screen from Martha. Tries to hit Amanda. Katie comes up with it on the scramble all the way to the hole. Wouldn't go. A lot of contact, no call. Now Katie. Meg Foley. Katie brings it back up top from that left wing. Petty there defensively. Nice move, Katie Connolly. Martha Balicki this way. Smothering defensive pressure. Meg tried to hit Amanda, looked like in the low post. Intercepted. Petty, good, and she's fouled by Meg Foley. Petty already with 10, make it 14-12 Lady Raiders. Meg Foley picks up her first, team second. So Shailani Petty will go to the line to shoot one to try to make this a 3-point play as 23 Karen Sen and 31 Paula Sen enter the ball game, subbing Scarlatos and Aaron Hudd. Petty's good, and it's now 15-2 Lady Raiders. 11-minute mark, first half. Defensively there, Petty, off of her out of bounds. Seychelles will bring the ball in with 23 left on the shot clock. Down 13 at 15-2. Meg needs help. Gets it from Amanda Dorian. Dorian moves on Foley nicely. Foley with the block. A lot of body. No call. Outlet pass just too far for Kara Lynch to handle. Turnover. Turn it back to the Lady Sachems. 15-2. 10:51 left first half. And they need a bucket. Connolly. Petty there defensively. Nice screen. Anita Martinetti. Connolly doesn't need it. Meg Foley right wing. Meg drives. Now hits Katie. Three-pointer up for Katie. Good. We mentioned that Katie had a big game against Melrose each of the first 2 times they played. We're going to need a big game from her again tonight. Walking violation called on Petty. She looked to drive on Dorian to draw contact. Coach Steve is begging the lead official to call the travel, which was called by his compatriot, the trail official, and they eventually get it figured out. And it's back the other way, 15-5, Melrose. Connolly, nice move right down the middle. Nice hands, Petty. Ahead, Kara Lynch up, good. 17-5, as Lynch now has her first 2 of the evening. Balicki, Connolly, three-pointer up, wouldn't go. Rebound, Foley. Gets it off to Petty. 17-5 Melrose, under 10 minutes first half. Lena Martinetti there defensively. Now she backs off. Right wing Paulison. Now Marianne Foley. Nice hands, Amanda Dorian. Steal Dorian. We need more of that. 17-5, 9.5 left first half. Connolly again uses Petty. Now Amanda rolls through the lane. She'll get foul against 42, Marianne Foley, her first, team third, much to the chagrin of the locals here at Melrose High School. So Amanda will go to the line shooting 2. Amanda with 2 points so far on the evening. First up off for Dorian. Amanda had, as we said, 16 the other night at Charlestown. Martinetti had 15. That's 31 of Winchester's 53 right there. Second for Dorian up off. Meg Foley fights for it, saves it. Connolly can't quite save it. Out of bounds to the Lady Red Raiders with 9:25 left first half. 17-5 Melrose. Get a good shot there of our baseline camera, operated by Jeff Dearman. Turnover, Martinetti good. 17-7, we're down 10. Another steal, Lady Sachems, Martha Balicki. Martinetti out of there with it. Now back the other way. Nice hustle, Balicki. Dorian, Foley. Now Amanda looks to move on Marianne Foley, 42. Not there, she walks. 14, Kara Lynch sort of fainted stepping into the passing lane between Dorian and Balicki, and Amanda shuffled the feet. Inbound, stolen right back, now back to Lynch for Melrose, as things have gotten a little helter-skelter here. 31, Paulison, Meg there, all the way this way for Kara Lynch. Corner, Marianne Foley. Amanda there defensively, skip pass, Sen, up, no, Meg pulls it out of there. Down 10, 8.5 left first half. 17-7 Melrose. Connolly with 34, Elizabeth Lahiff there defensively. Foul out front called against Paula Sen, her first, team fourth. Meg Foley to inbounds on the far sideline for the Lady Sachems. Hits Katie Connolly, and Sachems will set things up just under 8.5, 17-7 Melrose. Connolly defensively now there, Lahiff, and it's out of bounds. It'll remain this way with Lady Sachems. Again, down 10 as they're now starting to sit in the aisles here at Melrose, right in front of us. Don't be surprised if later in the evening I flip out about people crawling all over me and our monitor, etc. Balicki down low, Dorian fights for it. Kara Lynch is in there, pulls it away. tried to go down floor for 31 Paula Sen. Katie Connolly pulls it out of there. Now Martha Balicki. Set things up for the Lady Sachems. Melrose in man. Foley tried to go baseline. Now skip past Connolly. Down low, Anita Martinetti. Up. A lot of contact, no foul. It's defensively, Karen Sen, 23, was there. Out of bounds off Melrose to Winchester. 7:43 left, first half. Substitute 15, Andrea Campbell in for Melrose for the first time. Meg Foley to inbound, hits Katie Connolly. 7:40 left, first half. 17-7 Lady Raiders. Defensively there, Elizabeth Laff, 34. Connolly runs off a screen from Foley. Now Dorian looks to move on the sub. Campbell up and good. 2 for Amanda. She now has 4. It's an 8-point affair at 17-9. 7:20 left, first half. This way, Paula Sen, 31. Up top, drive, Karen Sen, and they're going to get foul on the floor. They get Anita Martinetti. That is her second, team third. Anita did a great job of not getting into foul trouble. Jeez, I just jinxed her. I just was saying she did a great job not getting into foul trouble. Yeah, Adam says, what are you doing? Did a great job staying out of foul trouble at Charlestown. Now she's picked up her third. So Karen Sen will go to the line shooting 2 as Anita now has 3. First up for Sen is good. So Jill Kenton and Mary Alice Gill will check in for the Sachems, replacing Meg Foley and Anita Martinetti. So MAG and Jill Kenton in for the first time this evening. Second up and good for Sen. It's now 19-9, back to a 10-point lead at the 7-minute mark, first half. Katie Connolly. Melrose does not have anyone who can handle Katie one-on-one, as she's had her way against the defensive pressure exerted by both Petty and, well, now some of the substitutes for Melrose, specifically Scarlatos. Turnover Melrose. Back the other way. Yeah, Lahif, 34, is now trying to guard Katie. Foul out front on Scarlatos. Here comes Petty back for Christina Scarlatos. So Scarlatos and Lahif now Petty and Lahif now at guard as Scarlatos is subbed. 6:34 left, first half. Lady Sachems down 10 at 19-9. Foley needs help. Let's see what the call is before the inbounds pass. Looks like they're going to get the Melrose defender for fouling the inbounds pass. That's interesting. Melrose defender being 31, Paula Sen. That's her second, team 5th. Foul called down low against Paula Sen. That should be her third, team 6th. As Anita Martinetti checks the scores table, she will return. Jumper up, wouldn't go for Balicki. Out of bounds, off of Dorian. As she was scrapping pretty good down there with 15, Andrea Campbell. Martinetti is back in, this time for Dorian. On the floor for the Lady Sachems, Kenton, Balicki, Connolly, Martinetti with the steal almost, and MAG. Shailani Petty will set things up at the 6:20 mark, first half. 19-9 Lady Raiders. Almost a steal for Katie up top. Down low, wouldn't go. Pulled out of there by Petty as Campbell couldn't get it to fall. Petty now for 3. No. Nice box out, Martinetti. Ball finds its way to Campbell. Petty wouldn't go. Again, rebound Melrose. That's 34, Lahif. Katie Connolly will turn it back the other way as we've been stuck on 19-9 for about 2 minutes. Connolly doesn't have Balicki. Now Kenton. Nice screen, MAG. Screen and roll. Doesn't materialize. Katie runs off of a Kenton screen. Jumper just long. Pulled out of there by Lahif. 5.5 left first half. Lahiff back the other way for Melrose. Corner for 33, Hannah Berg off. Shaylani Petty with the rebound. Martha there defensively. 5 count is running. Now on the Sen fed it in the middle of the lane. Couldn't connect. Petty up, won't go. Pulled out of there by Katie Connolly. Perhaps a 2-on-1 with Martha. Takes it up strong, and she's going to be fouled by Elizabeth Lahiff. That's her first, team 7th. Foul in the act of shooting. Katie will shoot 2. 5:05 left first half, 19-9. Lady Sachems looking to cut into a 10-point Melrose lead. First to 2 for Connolly, up, good. Eliza Bailey in for the first time this evening for Winchester, subbing Mary Alice Gill. Katie Connolly will shoot the second of 2. Second for Katie, up long. Rebound pulled out of there, Marianne Foley. It'll go back the other way at 19-10. 5-minute mark. That's a walk, no call. Petty back up top as Lynch walked with it. In the middle, Marianne Foley, turnaround jumper, good. 4 now for Foley, and it's 21-10. Largest lead at 11 for the Lady Red Raiders so far this evening. Connolly, Petty there defensively. Now Balicki. Lynch with her. Left wing, Jill Kenton. Runs off a screen by Eliza. In the middle on the screen, a roll, and Bailey walks. Sachem turnover, return it back the other way at the 4:32 mark, first half, 21-10. Biggest lead so far of the evening for the Lady Red Raiders. Sheilani Petty has Kara Lynch this way. Katie Connolly there as Sachems have gone man. Looks right wing, not there. They reverse the screen, now screen high post. Petty runs the show, down in the middle for low block for Foley, up and good, and she is a lot to handle in the low block. 23-10, Lady Red Raiders. 4-minute mark first half. Connolly again loses Petty. Hand stuck in there, eventually finds its way out to Carol Lynch, and Anita now has 4 fouls. Amanda immediately up to the scorer's table. She will replace undoubtedly Anita Martinetti. Team 5th, Martinetti's 4th. Carol Lynch will shoot 2 for the Lady Red Raiders. First for Lynch, up, won't go. Here comes Doreen for Martinetti. Well, it is possible, forgive me folks at home, as you know, we're on the road, we're sitting in the stands, I'm trying to do 12 things at once, I'm working the game by myself. It is possible that I am incorrect, but I, on my book, have Anita Martinetti with 4 fouls. 24-10 now. Lady Red Raiders were down 2 touchdowns in under 4 minutes first half. Lynch there defensively against Balicki. Martha almost walked, did not. Gets help from Amanda Dorian. Nice feed down low. Connolly, Bailey, up, wouldn't go. Pulled out of there by 21, Erin Hudd. Now Shaylani Petty, 3 will set things up this way. Petty is smooth. Right wing, 33, Hannah Berg. Now back up top, Petty as Berg cuts. Looked to be there. Petty opted not to go that way. Instead tries to go to the corner for Erin Hudd. Does so, but it's fumbled out of bounds as Christina Nardone will come in for the first time this evening. Well, we need a big contribution from Christina again tonight, as we got at Charlestown. I believe this is the first time Nardone and Dorian have been into a ball game at the same time, as we've gone real big here. Well, if you can't exploit a quickness advantage, which we cannot, we're going to have to exploit the size advantage. And with Jill, Christina Nardone, and Amanda in there all at once, this is about as big as we get. Almost steal, Katie Connolly. Petty up, good. Petty now has 13 on the evening, and it is 26-10 Lady Raiders. Under 3 minutes first half. High post. Amanda just rolls right to the basket. Nice block. Foley, Jill Kenton. Rebound up and good. So 2 for Kenton gets us off of 10. Kara Lynch, three-pointer wouldn't go. Amanda Dorian with the rebound. Lynch had a lot of arm, a lot of ball. Ripped it out of there. No foul called as Meg is back in for Jill Kenton. Timeout, Lady Sachems. 2:31 left, first half. 26-12, Lady Raiders. And they will inbounds the ball under the Winchester basket when we come out of this timeout. Yeah, with Nardone, Dorian, and either Foley or Kenton on the floor at the same time, this is about as big as the Lady Sachems can possibly go. As one of the MIAA public service announcements is being read about it's for a local department store, as you may hear in the background. I thought it was going to be one of those, play fair, work hard, don't do drugs, and one of those things, one of those PSAs. It is not. Yeah, the ones we're supposed to be reading on air. Well, MIAA out in Springfield or wherever they're at, they can come hunt us down. 26-12, Lady Raiders, 14-point lead, 2:31 left, first half. Adam says he'll give him my home phone. I'm not in the book, Adam. On the floor for Winchester, Foley, Dorian, Gill, Connolly, Balicki. It's a long way back from 14 down. Fortunately, we have 18 and a half minutes of basketball to get that done. Foley, turnaround jumper, that's her favorite move. She gets it to go again. She now has 8, and it's 16 at 28-12. 2:20 left, first half. Sachem student body trying to get things going to my left. Dorian up, wouldn't go. Meg Foley could not corral the rebound. Out off of Meg at the 2:10 mark, first half. Again, 28-12. As you can see in your camera shot, there's the Melrose television. Single camera outfit that they are. Lynch, Foley. That's MMTV, folks. We're not sure what channel they are. Lynch up, no. Rebound pulled out of there by Hud. Now Foley, Petty, Lynch. High post Foley. They get Katie for the reach foul. First of the evening on Katie Connolly, team sixth. 1:47 left, first half, 28-12, 16-point lead, Lady Red Raiders. Substitute 15, Andrea Campbell, back in, replaces Marianne Foley. 23, Karen Sen, about to check in. Now, they will not have her sent into the ballgame. Petty works against Foley defensively. Meg, nice job. Skip pass. Now Hud. Sachem Bentz wants a walk. Instead, they get the turnover. MAG pulled it out of there. Katie Connolly back the other way. Behind her back. A lot of contact. Petty from Lynch up. Good. 30-12, 18-point lead at the 1:20 mark, first half. Sachem's looking to get into the locker room without this getting out of hand. Skip pass, Dorian, Connolly, no. Petty, back the other way. Lynch, Petty, up, no. Rebound pulled out of there, Mary Alice Gill. Katie Connolly out of bounds off of Connolly as we're under 1 minute at 58 seconds. 30-12, Lady Raiders. Substitutions for Melrose as the point is now being handled by Christina Scarlatos. Corner, Aaron Hud, no. Over the back, not called on 15, Campbell. Out of bounds off of Campbell as Dorian was there fighting for it as Melrose just runs him in and out. Ball's already inbounded, but they're going to allow the Melrose substitution anyway. That's one of the benefits of playing at home. 45 seconds left. Lady Sachem's down 18 at 30-12. Connolly, right wing, Foley has Gill on the low post. Instead, Meg with a jumper. Could not connect off of Amanda Dorian out of bounds. 34 seconds left. First half, 30-12, Lady Raiders. Scarlatos this way for Lahif, off. They're going to get a foul underneath. Looks like it's going to go on Amanda. I believe it was called on Martha. It is, if so, it is her striking it went the other way. 15, Andrea Campbell. That's why the 1 signal. 1-5, Campbell picks up the foul. Amanda was in on the play. It was not Amanda committing the foul. It was Amanda being fouled. That is the 8th team foul, and Amanda Dorian will shoot 1 and 1. So Dorian to shoot 1 and 1. Amanda has 4 points on the evening. 26 seconds left, first half. Lady Sachem's down 18. Would not go, pulled out of there by 23, Karen Sen. 23 seconds left. All the way down low, Scarlatos into a sea of players, and it's off of Karen Sen out of bounds. 17 seconds left, first half. Lady Sachem's looking for the last shot. 30-12, 18-point lead. Balicki up top. High post, Dorian. 10 seconds, 9. Tries to find Katie Connolly. Out of bounds, they say off of Connolly with 7 seconds left, first half. Shot clock should be off. It is not. It's immaterial at 7 seconds. Inbounds, Karen Sen tries to find Carlatos / Lahif, and it's out of bounds with 3 seconds left. Lady Sachem's 30-12, still an 18-point lead. And the Sachem's with 3 seconds to get off a last-second desperation shot. Inbounds, Katie Connolly. She'll shoot from beyond half court. No. So a very difficult first half of basketball, as it has been for a lot of teams over the years here at Melrose. Lady Red Raiders 30, Winchester Lady Sachem's 12. Back with the second half after this.
For more info, go to OperationGraduation.com.
Welcome back to Melrose High School here in Melrose, Mass, ladies and gentlemen, for WinCam 8's continuing coverage of Lady Sachem hoops. My name is Robert Broderick. Well, Lady Sachem's down 18 at half, 30-12 to a very difficult Melrose Lady Red Raiders team. Chance to look at the leading scores in the first half. For us, we only have 12. Katie and Amanda each have 4. For them, Shaylani Petty. She's been at the top of the league scoring table all year. Well, she's got 15. Marianne Foley in the middle, number 42, has 8. And that's 23 of 30. And those are the 2 big guns coming in. Those are the 2 big guns all year, and they're the 2 big guns tonight. What can you do? Petty is very good. Foley's very good and very big. I mean, I've been talking about our size. I suppose that it's been a bit lost on me. Melrose is pretty big too, and I was talking to Dan Dorian at halftime. What can you do? They have size, they have talent. That's a pretty good combination. That's why they hang all these banners in this place. 18-0 Middlesex League undefeated champion banner goes up every year. Well, we're getting a look at why. Lady Sachem's a long way back, 30-12, down 18. Connolly up top, Foley right wing. Melrose is in man. Meg beats her man, Scarlato. Up, won't go for Meg, but she'll shoot 2. Foul is on Scarlatos, her first, team first, second half. Meg Foley at the line, shooting 2. Meg has yet to register in the scorebook this evening. First of 2 for Foley up long. Saw Meg's family is all in the house tonight, including Dave down from school. Probably, skipping some classes tomorrow. That away falls. Second for Meg, up and good. Back to 17 at 30-13 for second half. Petty, Connolly there defensively. Sachem's in man. Foley, now back up top, Shaylani Petty. In the middle, Foley up, good. She's got that, little turnaround right-handed jumper, and she seems to bury it about 80% of the time in the middle of the lane. Balicki, down low, Meg Foley, up, a lot of contact, no call, pulled out of there, Petty. The 15-15 mark, second half, 32-13, 19-point lead. Down low, Hud, lays it off, Scarlatos, up and good. Scarlatos now with 4, and it's 34-13. We're down 3 touchdowns. Katie Connolly weaving her way through traffic, hits Martha Balicki. Petty gets a hand in. Also there is Lynch. First tie ball of the evening. That is a rarity in girls high school basketball. And it'll give it to the Lady Raiders at the 14:56 mark, 34-13 with the ball. Petty has Scarlatos to her left. Sachem's back now in his zone. High post HUD. Foley. Amanda there defensively. Nice job, Amanda, defensively. Turnaround jumper, Foley. Air. Terrific job, defensive pressure, Amanda Dorian, but Martha loses it in the forecourt. Foul called against, I believe it was Martha. The scores table's on the other side, and it was quick, but I believe it to be Martha. HUD jumper up, good. First 2 of the evening for Aaron HUD. It is 36-13. We're down 23. Meg down low for Martha. Foul is going to be called on Christina Scarlatos, 11, her team second. Meg Foley will go to the line to shoot 2. 34, Elizabeth Lahif about to come back in for Melrose. First for Meg, up, good. Meg now 2 for 3 from the line this evening as Lahif subs Scarlatos. Second of 2 for Foley, up, off, pulled out of there by Aaron HUD. Now Kara Lynch, she'll set things up for the Lady Raiders. Petty, nice drop-off pass for Aaron HUD. Nice hands, Katie Connolly. Meg Foley comes out of there with it. 36-14, 14-minute mark, second half. Connolly all the way through a lot of traffic, and they say off of Katie, out of bounds to Melrose at 14:02. 36-14, Lady Raiders. Shaylani Petty is everything that she has been advertised to be, as is Marianne Foley, as is this entire Melrose squad. Of course, we had firsthand experience twice. That first game, Shaylani Petty goes hard to the hole, and she's going to be fouled. It looks like it'll be Amanda Dorian. It is. Amanda's first, team first. We had 2 looks at these girls so far, during the regular season. That first game, we only lost by 11 over here. My recollection is we had a 1-point halftime lead. Petty hits the first of 2. I was looking through my old notes from that game, and the non-professional that I am, I could not find them this afternoon. Petty hits the second. I believe we had a 1-point halftime lead. I think it was 21-20. I'm sure somebody out there will say, well, yeah, of course we did. Don't you remember? That was 3 months ago by now, 2 months ago. Connolly, low Foley, as we're really focusing on trying to get the ball to Meg down low in the second half. Amanda just rips it away from Kara Lynch. Katie with a 3-pointer. No, fought for between Martinetti and HUD. HUD pulls it out of there. Jump ball, alternate possession. Alternate possession will give it back to Winchester at the 13-19 mark, second half. Foley, corner, Connolly. Right back down to Meg. Jumper wouldn't go. Foley there. It's just stolen away by Dorian. Martinetti wouldn't go. Pulled out of there by Lahif. Gets it off to Petty. 13 minutes left, second half. 38-24. Nice hands, Martha Balicki. HUD jumper altered by Balicki possibly. Meg Foley brings it out of there. Back the other way. Lays it off for Connolly. Down low, Meg Foley. A lot of contact with Foley. Foley. No call. Shaylani Petty back the other way. Up, good, and she's fouled. Foul's going to go against Katie Connolly, her second, team second. Petty, 2, and a foul. Well, she had 15 coming into the half. She's tacked on 4 more. She's now sitting at 19, trying to make it 20. Substitutes for Melrose. 31. Paula Shen and 23, Karen Sen. Timeout on the floor. Well, 40-14. We're down 26, 12:40 left. And it looks increasingly like 12:40 left, not just in the second half, but in the game, or in the season. Not just the game, excuse me. I'm having a bad night, folks. Sachem's down 26, and maybe it's just not a Winchester night here in Melrose, Mass. Of course, you know, it's not often anybody's night here against the Lady Raiders. Yeah, whether it be in this gym or anywhere else. They are a very, very difficult squad year in and year out. And this year, you know, some thought maybe they were just a bit down, as we said in the first half. Well, yeah, they're a bit down. They didn't go 18-0 in the conference. They went 17-1. Yeah, they're a bit down. They've reloaded again, and they're very strong, and they're very tough. 40-14. Shaylani Petty will go to the line looking for her 20th point of the evening. Still with 12:40 left to play. She has 19, looking to make it 20. She is a very, very smooth point guard. On the floor for Winchester, Balicki and Connolly at the guards, Foley and Martinetti at forward, Amanda Dorian in the middle. Shaylani Petty will go to the line, attempting to complete a three-point play. Up, good. Yeah, on top of it all, she looks to be a very good foul shooter. She is the whole package. 41-14, we're down 27. Connolly working on Petty. Low for Meg Foley. Up, good. Nice move, Meg. She now has 4. It's 41-16. Sachem sitting back in his zone. Looks to be a 1-2-2. Corner, Lynch. Nice hands, Amanda Dorian. Denied the ball to the low block. Katie Connolly pulls it out of there. 12-10 left, second half. 41-16, we're down 25. Katie Connolly with three-pointer, good. Katie's second three of the evening. She now has 7. It's 41-19. Petty, corner looking for Lahif. Nice job, Anita Martinetti, to knock it out of bounds. Substitute for the first time, Lindley D'Amato, 44, in for Petty. Shaylani Petty will sit with 20 points. Lynch, Lahif, corner for Paula Sen, all the way through the lane, up and good. First two of the evening for 31, Paula Sen, 43-19, Lady Raiders. So we approach the 11.5-minute mark, second half. Nice move in the middle of the lane. Connolly up, good, and the foul. Foul is on D'Amato, 44. That's Lindley D'Amato. Her first, team third. 33, Hannah Berg is back for Lahif for the Lady Raiders. Katie Connolly now with 9 points on the evening. Attempt to make it 10. There's a good look at Katie. It's a road game, folks. We don't have lower third graphics. She has 9 points. Off for Connolly. Fought for, pulled out of there. Nice hustle, Martinetti. Pulled out of there by 14, Kara Lynch. Well, the Lady Sachems are going to play hard. That's a walk. Karen Sen, 23, shuffle the feet, top of the key. Lady Sachems, you know, the one thing you can guarantee is they're going to leave it all on the floor. And, you know, down 22, they're still diving all over the place. They could be down 52, they probably would. They certainly would. Foley right wing from Connolly. Nice screen and roll with Martinetti, couldn't quite connect. Pulled out of there by Karen Sen. Now 44, the sub, Lindley D'Amato. Corner for Lynch, back to D'Amato, up, everything but down. Pulled out of there by 31, Paula Sen, wouldn't go. Rebound up and good for Hannah Berg, her first two of the evening. As the Melrose crowd cheers Berg's first 2 points. You know, they're not just happy to be up 24. You know, they want everyone on the team to score. You know, all 15 girls. They may well get that, quite frankly. 10:31 left, second half. 45-21. Jill Kenton set to check back in for the Lady Sachems, replaces Meg Foley. Bilicki pops to the corner, receives a pass, jumper up and good. First two of the evening for Martha Bilicki. She did have 6 Tuesday night down at Charlestown. Corner for 23, Karen Sen. Now D'Amato back up top for Paula Sen. Pulled out of there by Martha Bilicki. Turn it back the other way at the 10-minute mark, second half. 45-23, we're down 22. Low blocks for Amanda. Pops out of there off of Katie. Back to Melrose as Scarlatos checks in for Lynch. 11 Scarlatos for 14 Lynch. 44 Lindley D'Amato. Now Scarlatos. Nice steal. Anita Martinetti. Had Katie Connolly up too strong. Pulled out of there by 23 Karen Sen. Oh, goodness. It's a tie ball, fortunately for Anita Martinetti and the Sachems. All in her possession will give it at the 9:44 mark to Melrose. Yeah, Anita's playing with 4. Inbounds. Played into Karen Sen. Now 11 Scarlatos. 33 Hannah Berg. Wouldn't go. Connolly ahead of the field to Bilicki. Up. Good. Martha now with 4 on the evening. 45-25. See what the call is. It appears to be part of the protective foam at the bottom of the backboard. I don't know if we get a shot of that. Jeff Dearman down on that baseline camera. I believe they're talking about the protective foam underneath the basket. Not quite sure that that's what it is. That is not what's going on, folks. Well, it's been explained to Coach DeSarcina. It has not been explained to us. Yeah, it looked to be a held ball. Possession error to Melrose. Long pass down floor. Amanda Dorian gets a hand on it, fights with it, fights for it with Karen Sen, 23. It's off of Sen, out of bounds to the Lady Sachems. 9:23 left, second half. We're still down 20. Chipping away is Leanne Bertocchi set to check in for the Lady Sachems. Jumper strong for Katie Connolly. Pulled out of there, Amanda Dorian. Nice work in the middle. Jump ball will give it back to the Lady Sachems at the 9:10 mark. So we didn't have a single held ball the entire first half. We've had 4 in less than 7 minutes. Bertocchi checks in. Martinetti jumper. Wouldn't go. Fought for. Pulled out of there by 23. That's Karen Sen. Amanda there defensively in the forecourt. Finds its way to Lindley D'Amato. Now Scarlatos. Nice steal, Martha Bilicki. As we're under 9 minutes. Still down 20. Bilicki to run the point now as Bertocchi's in for Connolly. Bilicki up, wouldn't go. Pulled down by Amanda Dorian. Jumper Dorian strong. Rebound Paula Sen. She'll go back the other way, almost walks. This way for 44 Lindley D'Amato. She goes hard to the hole. She's fouled. Fouls on Leanne Bertocchi, her first. Team third. And 44 Lindley D'Amato will shoot 2 for Melrose. Again, 45-25, 8:32 left, second half. First for D'Amato, up, good. Yeah, another big cheer from the Melrose crowd as that's D'Amato's first point of the evening. Substitutes 33 Hannah Berg and 15 Andrea Campbell back in for Melrose. Second of 2 for Lindley D'Amato. Long, pulled out of there Amanda Dorian. 46-25, Lady Red Raiders. Jill Kenton. Nice move, Jill. Jumper up. Wouldn't go. Nice rebound, Amanda Dorian up strong. Again, Amanda. Up again. A lot of contact. No foul. Amanda fights for it in the middle of the lane. Turns into a wrestling match between Dorian and D'Amato. Nice hustle both ways. Tie ball will give it back to Melrose at the 8:15 mark. As Petty checks back in for Melrose. To a warm ovation from the, well, what, I guess there's no such thing as anything but a warm ovation. Big ovation from the Melrose crowd. 8:10 left, second half. We're down 3 touchdowns at 46-25. Jumper too strong for 33 Hannah Berg. Pulled out of there by Amanda Dorian. Finds Katie Connolly. The Lady Stations will turn it back the other way. Under 8 minutes now. 46-25. Nice move, Connolly. Tries to dish low for Mary Alice Gill, who's checked back in. They're going to get a scrapping Amanda Dorian for a foul. Her second, team fourth. Amanda playing very, very hard and trying to scratch and claw and fight. And, you know, sometimes it's just doesn't seem to be enough when you're playing a team as good as this team. Illegal screen called against 31 Paula Sen. That is her fourth, team fourth. And they will substitute 21 Aaron Hudd immediately for Sen. Yeah, well, if Sen fouls out, you're in real trouble down, you know, up 21. Still the right thing to do. Dorian Kenton looks to move on Paula Sen. Go right after her, Jill. She's got 4. Jumper for Jill, long. Pulled out of there, Shaylani Petty. Tries to go against defensive pressure. Nice job, Katie Connolly. Connolly will come back the other way. Petty gets a hand in. Leanne Bertocchi runs it down. Tries to hit Jill Kenton. Pulled out of there by Paula Sen. Ahead of the field, Campbell rejected by Amanda Dorian. Something for the Sachem fans to cheer about. Leanne Bertocchi works against defensive pressure by Kara Lynch. Now Jill Kenton. Corner, Katie Connolly. Petty gets a hand in there. Ahead of the field looking for Andrea Campbell. Campbell up. She's fouled by Leanne Bertocchi. Bertocchi's second, team fifth. Andrea Campbell will go to line. She will shoot 2. And I guarantee if she hits one of these foul shots, you'll get another big roar from the Melrose folks because she has not scored yet this evening. And they're on top of this. First up, no. The big cheer will have to wait. Foley and Martinetti back in for Bertocchi and Dorian. Lynch and Paula Sen sit, as Paula Sen, 31, has 4 fouls. Second of 2 for Andrea Campbell. No. Rebound pulled out of there by Jessup. That's 24 Jessup in for the first time. Larissa Jessup, 24. A lot of contact. Offensive foul. That's a crowd. I'll tell you what, that is a crowd call. That is a crowd and reputation call because there is no way Shaylani Petty was set against Katie Connolly. That is a reputation call. That, have some guts. Make the call based on the play, not the crowd, not the reputation, not the uniform. Man, I'll tell you. Well, yeah, Petty, jumper good. Yeah, Petty is a tremendous ball player. She doesn't need any help from the guys wearing stripes. 49-25. We're down 24, 6 minutes left. Meg Foley up, wouldn't go. Rebound pulled out of there by Andrea Campbell. There's Petty. Back the other way. Katie Connolly there defensively. Now this way for 21 Aaron Hudd. Off. Petty runs it down. She seems to be everywhere. 5:41 left, second half. Petty, Hudd, Campbell. Off to Petty. Nice entry pass down low for Jessup. Off to Petty, good. Well, 51-25, under 5.5, and we're down 26. Shaylani Petty is putting on a show. Katie Connolly, nice dish, Martinetti, blocked Campbell. Petty pulls it out of there. Anita is just fouled out. Well, a bit of a frustration foul as Martinetti now changes chest bumps with Hud. Yeah, emotions running over a little bit both ways there. You know, Hud was sort of chest bumping Anita, and I think Hud was trying to instigate things as much as anything. You know, Anita committed the frustration foul, unfortunately. Substitutes for Winchester as Anita is done. 33, Mary Alice Gill, and 23, Eliza Bailey back in for the Sachems. Petty with another foul shot. She now has 11 second half points to give her 26 on the evening. 52-25. Second of two for Shaylani Petty. Up, good. Yeah, she's a terrific foul shooter too, on top of everything else. As 32, Emily Erb in for the first time. Petty is probably done for the evening. Checking in for Winchester, Carolyn Lombardi. Balicki runs the point. Hud there defensively. This way for the other way for Carolyn. Jumper up, Carolyn Lombardi. Everything but down. Eliza Bailey fights for it. Off of Eliza, out of bounds. As we're under 5 now at 4:57 second half, 53-25. Hud will be subbed as 32. Erb was already in. It's 12. 12 Samantha Bell for the first time this evening. There is Bell. Everything but down. Pulled out of there by MAG, and she's going to be fouled by Campbell. Nice defensive rebounding position, Mary Alice Gill. Andrea Campbell went over the top of her. That is Campbell's second, team fifth. Balicki runs the point, has Foley this way. Goes to her, off of Meg, out of bounds. Defensively there, Samantha Bell was pressuring Foley, and Sachem's unable to complete the pass to this wing, and will turn it back the other way at 4:40 left second half. 53-25, we're down 28. Point being run by 34, that's Lahif. Corner jumper off, that's Bell, up and good. First two of the evening for Samantha Bell. Another big roar from the crowd as another Red Raider has hit the scorebook for the first time. 55-25, we're down 30. Nice job, Meg Foley, up and good. See who they get for the foul. They get Campbell. Strike that, they get Bell. Bell's first, team sixth. To Meg Foley. She now has 6. She now has 7 as she completes the three-point play. 55-28, Lady Raiders. Off of Bell, pulled out of there by Balicki. Has numbers. Nice pass, Carolyn Lombardi, up and good. First two of the evening for Carolyn. Now 55-30, we're down 25. Bell, entry pass down low for Larissa Jessup. Foul on the floor, looks like they got Meg. Couldn't quite tell from here if it was on Meg or Eliza. Martinetti must only have committed her fourth. Everybody here in the Winchester section, well, me and Dan Dorian thought we each had her for 4 in that first half. She must have only had 3. She now has 4, and she's coming back. Foul shot for 24, Jessica Larup, up and off. So Anita is not done. She's back. She must now have 4. Balicki, Lombardi. Entry pass, Martinetti up. Nice strong move to the hole. They're going to get 21. That is Erin Hudd for the foul, her second. Team 7th. Shooting foul. Martinetti will shoot 2. She has 2 on the evening. First for Anita, short. 55-30. 3:42 left. Second half ball game, and unfortunately season for the Lady Sachems. Second off, Eliza Bailey as Dorian fought for it, and Eliza gets 2. So she breaks the scoring column. That's great to see. 55-32. Back this way, Samantha Bell, jumper off. Nothing, draws nothing, and Amanda lets it go out of bounds. 3:28 left in the second half and in the season. Well, let's end it in style and try to chip away and make this a respectable score and go out on a good note. Unfortunately, a turnover. It's pulled out of there by 24. That's Larissa Jessup. And they're going to get Martinetti in the backcourt, and that is going to be 5 on Anita Martinetti. Well, as Anita gets a well-deserved round of applause, a hug from Chrissy Norberg on the bench, a standing O from everybody here, including well, I'm not standing. I can't. I'm clapping if you can hear it in the microphone. It has been a terrific season and a terrific career for Anita Martinetti. Congratulations, and everyone associated with Winchester basketball, I'm sure, and I guarantee you everyone associated with WinCam wishes Anita nothing but best in the future. First of 2 for Emily Erb would not go. Second for Erb. Long. Rebound pulled out of there, Amanda Dorian. 3:10 left, second half, 55-32. Lady Red Raiders, they will advance to take on Lincoln Sudbury in a 2-7 matchup in the quarterfinals, Division II North. Bailey, Balicki, nice pass, Gill up, good. So Mary Alice Gill's on the scorebook. That's good to see. Down 19, let's make this as respectable as possible. 55-34. Entry pass broken up. Bailey pulls it out of there. Tries to hit Martha. Can't quite run it down in the corner. Turnover back the other way as Katie Connolly is going to come back on. Martha Balicki sits. Yeah, now you make your substitutions and get everybody their well-deserved round of applause. Nice pass down low. There's Jessup for her first 2 as the Melrose fans get to go bananas again as another player has hit the scorebook. 57-34, under 2.5. Let's get Carolyn as many touches as possible. That's exactly what we're doing. Gets it up, wouldn't go. Rebound fought for Dorian. Up strong in a crowd, and she's fouled by somebody. See who they get. They get 44, Lindley D'Amato, her second. Team 8th. First for Amanda up and good. Amanda now has 5 on the evening. Second for Dorian, good. Amanda was 6. 57-36, 2:10 left, second half. Samantha Bell running the point, kickball, new clock as Lindley D'Amato, 44, ran it down. 2:05 left. Well, congratulations to the Lady Red Raiders. They will advance. It was always going to take a fantastic, monumental effort to come in here and beat these girls. And, very, very few teams have been up to that task, and we just couldn't pull it off tonight. Walking called against Samantha Bell. I'll turn it back the other way as we're under 2 minutes. 57-36. It's going to be the end of the season for the Lady Sachems and the end of 2 tremendous careers, Amanda Dorian and Anita Martinetti. Lombardi, jumper, strong, follows her own miss. Tie ball will give it back to the Lady Sachems at the 140 mark. Okay. Mary Alice Gill and Katie Connolly are subbed. 22, that is your first WinCam look at Catherine Bailey. And 12, that is your first WinCam look at Kristen Shea. Mike Shea's little sister and Eliza Bailey's little sister. So keeping it in the family here, Sachem basketball style. Bell to the hole. Nice job defensively, Kristen Shea, and she'll run the point as we have our first head-banded Lady Sachem. I noticed that at Charlestown the other night. Nobody else goes with a headband, just Kristen Shea. Jumper Lombardi, long, run down by Amanda Dorian. Nice move. Reach-in foul is going to be called on Karen Sen. It is on Sen, her second, team 10th. So Sachem's in the double bonus at the 107 mark, second half, down 19. Jenny Bandai into the ballgame, wearing 15 tonight. She's in the scorebook as 41. Make it 15. Speaking of keeping it in the family Sachem basketball style, Jen Bandai in the ballgame. And here comes Carolyn Turner for the first time. As Amanda Dorian has left for the final time as a Sachem. Hugs all around. Amanda, Chrissy Norberg, Coach Bechter. So we're not even paying attention on the floor here. The much more important action is happening at the Sachem bench as a very, very fine career has come to an end for Amanda Dorian. Well, you're not going to find too many better players, not going to find too many better careers, and you're not going to find a single nicer young lady than Amanda Dorian. Karen Sen hits the free throw. 58-38, hits the second. It's back to 21. Sen now with 4. 59-38 as we're under a minute. All right, let's get some of these Sachem reserves on the board. Turner looks low. Eliza Bailey, jumper. Rebound, Bandai. Oh, couldn't quite come up with it. Ahead of the field, Lindley D'Amato, 12 Bell. Rebound pulled out of there. Turner fights for it. Steal Shea. Or Catherine Bailey, sorry. Now Kristen Shea. That's 12 Kristen Shea. Foul is going to be whistled on. Looks like they got Emily Erb. See who shoots. 19 seconds left in the ball game. Final score immaterial at this point. More importantly, for the first time in her Sachem career, Jen Bandai will go to the line. A huge career ahead of her, and it begins right now. Excellent job, Jennifer Bandai. She is in the books. I believe she likes to go by Jenny. Good shot, Jenny Bandai. 59-39. She calmly buries a pair, Jennifer Bandai. 19 seconds left, and it looks like it's going to end 59-40, a 19-point loss. Oh, Jen Bandai with a hand in there. I keep calling her Jen. I think she wants to go by Jenny. Sorry, we'll get this together next year. Big future for Shea, Bandai, Turner. Well, I spoke too soon as the jumper is up and good to make it a 21-point affair. Last shot, Sachem's from half court for Kristen Shea wouldn't go. Well, congratulations to the Lady Red Raiders as they defeat the Lady Sachems 61-40 here at Melrose High School. They will advance to take on Lincoln Sudbury. I'm Robert Broderick. It has been a pleasure to be with you this evening and all year. I want to thank all of the parents, everyone associated with the Winchester High ladies basketball program. It's been nothing but a pleasure. I would single you out, but then I'd leave somebody out. So thanks to everyone associated with the program. I've enjoyed it personally. WinCam has enjoyed it. Congratulations and fine careers, Anita Martinetti and Amanda Dorian. And welcome Jenny Bandai, Carolyn Turner, and Kristen Shea. For Adam Dusenberry, Jeff Dearman, Judy Balicki, I'm Robert Broderick. Thanks for joining us on WinCam 8. Congratulations to Melrose, and thanks to the Lady Sachems. Again, the final 61-40. Thanks for joining us, and good day.